Okay. After you have your 3 sketches, you should have 3 kind of detailed sketches like this one. You're going to pick your favorite, and we are going to redraw it, but on a larger scale. Okay, so to do this, you need to understand proportions. So no matter if I draw this or paint it on a brick wall, huge, or if I draw it tiny like this, I want the proportions to stay the same. So the easiest way to do this to begin with is to mark off where your the space that your backpack takes up, so your sketch. And then we're going to compare the width to the height and come up with a little ratio. So if in math, if you've learned about ratios, if it's 1 to 3, that means that one dimension would be this long and this dimension would be 3 times as long, or vice versa. So that's what we're going to do here. So the first thing you're going to do is find the tallest point of your book bag, whatever's at the height, the tallest height, and you're going to draw a horizontal line. Try to draw that as horizontal as you can. Keep it even with parallel to the edge of your paper. Find the left widest, so this little strap right here is my widest point, and you're going to do a vertical line, keep in parallel with this edge. Same thing with your bottom, line across, and same thing with the right side. So we're just kind of blocking in the entire space that the whole drawing takes up, okay? Then you're going to take something, you can just use your pencil for this, and your shortest dimension, which is my width, I'm going to hold my pencil right on the end and then my finger on this end to figure out. You don't have to actually measure with a ruler because we just want a comparison here. So I'm finding the left and the right. And then without moving your thumb, you're going to come to this side and figure out, okay, here is one of the widths. And then if I take the end here, it's actually another about third. If I split this width into thirds, it's about another third. So this is my 1, and my height should be 1 and another third of this length. Okay, so we're comparing the width to the height. The height, or the width, excuse me, is height is 1 1/3 times taller than the width. Okay, so now to this paper, you're going to do the same thing, except we want to fill a good bit of this space because you're going to fill the background with words, but for now we want to make sure that we fill the space that we have. So what I want to do is first just figure out how wide I want my book bag to be. I've got plenty of height to work with, so don't have to worry about that. So just make you a little mark how wide your book bag will be, how wide the whole picture will be. And now I'm just going to take a scrap sheet of paper. I've already used this, so I'm going to fold it so you can see. And I'm going to lay it down on this width. The end is on this side, and then here I want to mark how wide the width is that I have, okay? Now I know that if my width is 1, I want it to be 1 and another third taller than it is wide. So I'm going to just kind of eyeball breaking this into thirds. And then what I'm going to do is find either how the bottom or the top. So if I want the longest part of my picture here, then I'm going to take this and line it up here. This is 1. And then I know that it's 1 1/3 of the height. So I'm going to take that up there. This should be how tall the drawing is. All right. Now you can go in and, again, keeping it parallel to this, as parallel as possible. I'm going to kind of draw off very lightly. I'm holding way back here on the pencil because if I do it too dark, I can't erase it later. And it's just kind of a guide. And I'm going to do a line here. And then I'm gonna come here, again, parallel to this edge. And here, parallel to this edge. Okay. So now I have the space defined that I want to draw this in. Now, before, like when we did our hands, we had a little crosshair on our viewfinder. So if you want, you can kind of lightly cross this off at the halfway point. And at the halfway point here, try to make it as square as possible. This line is parallel to this line. This line is parallel to this line. Make sure you're halfway. If it's not, change it, fix it. Same thing here. So you're gonna find the halfway point. If you need to use a pencil, use a pencil. Something to kind of help you figure out where the halfway mark is. If that's half and half. So I'm gonna split this in half, this way, and in half this way. Again, very, very lightly, because we want to be able to erase this later. Light till you get it right. All right, now I have the same proportionate shape as I have here. I have it split into fours, just like when you did your hand. This is what I'm going to draw in this section. It should take up the same amount of space. Notice that the book bag takes up more space than is left outside of it. So I should be left with this same shape on the outside of the book bag. Okay, so think just making some little marks to begin with, so that you can just kind of, it's almost like connect the dots. If you will find where things fall, then you can just kind of connect those places. So I know that my strap up here touches the top, so this strap should touch the top. Comes over, if I look, this is about halfway across this line, meaning that should be halfway across this line. So I have this first little doohickey here, okay? Then look at, I can go back and I can look how far up this space is this. About a third, so about a third of the way up here is where this should come down and hit this. Then coming out here, look at this shape right here is what I should be trying to make. If I make this shape's gonna automatically form. Okay, keep doing that until you get all your details in there. Keep checking. I always stand back from it every once in a while to make sure that everything's looking proportionate. Kind of bounce around. So like from here, I wouldn't keep adding more lines until I'm sure that everything is in, the ones that I have are in the right place. So keep adding what you need to finish that out. And then once you have that and you know that it looks about the same, then you can go in and start adding your details. Add some more. Look at your book bag again if you need to get kind of, you know, add details, add the zipper, add some details like the texture in the little string that's on the end of the zipper. Go in and look at those details. We're gonna outline this with ink and then erase our pencil marks. So don't do anything really dark that you don't want to show. So once you get your outline, you could actually go in with ink and ink it, and then go back and add your details. I suggest trying the details on here before you come into here. Okay, that's what this is for. It's for practice, for ideas. What do you want to do to it? Once you have the whole thing drawn. There's my final little sketch anyway. I haven't added much detail. We're going to ink those and we're going to be adding words behind it. We'll discuss that more in class. See you later.